What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'll be talking about how I jack my 2019 Honda Accord. And as a side note, my car is on a stock height. However, I have a Yofer side skirt and front lip, so it might be sort of close to lowering the car, and at the same time I'll point out where the jack point and where to put the jack stands. So without further ado, let's get into it. So before I jack up the car, first things first, I just want to mention I'm using a Pittsburgh 3-ton jack, and it's also low profile. This one is very good to use when your car is lowered or when you have a front lip Yofer. And so that means it's not the traditional jacks where it's like very thick and bulky. With this one, the benefit of low profile is that it could reach more underneath the car and you won't have any problem getting the jack underneath the car. So the first step is that you just want to put the jacks under the car and make sure it's not locked yet. Put it down, put the car underneath. And what you want to do is that you're gonna put the jack right in the center of the car, which I'm gonna show you since we really can't see it on the undercarriage of the car since it's a little low. And yeah. So one thing to note while you're jacking up the car, if you have the Yofer front lip and it's not going to be the actual stock height, although the car is on stock height, the car looks like it's lowered due to the front lip. So what you want to do is that it's not an actual center one. You might have to look for a little space where you could put the jack in order to reach the jack point in front of your car. So right now the jack is on position and I'm going to start jacking it up, and I'll show you where the jack point is and where I put the jack. All right, so right underneath the car, the jack point, when you're putting the jack, it's right here, literally in the middle. If you could reach it like right here, the undercarriage for the shape of a half moon, that's where the jack point is. I don't know if you could see it a lot better in the video, but that's your jack point over there. So you're gonna put the car as high as your jack stand, and the jack point where you're going to put the jack stand is right over here. It's right. I don't know how to make it this clear, but it's right over here. It's this metal piece right here. That's one of the jack points where you're gonna put the jack stand. And so it's literally by the door sill. This right over here, underneath it, right underneath it is the jack point. So if you're a scaredy cat, like me, and if you have a Yofer side skirt, you cannot directly put the jack stand underneath the car unless you want to go higher, which is completely fine. But I don't want to put the car too high. So what I usually do is I just like move it right here and move it around. As you can see, right here, there's enough space where to go the jack stand. And same thing with the other side, it's the same area right there. Well, however, the jack is still on the car and you have this little gap right over here. So once you release the jack, the car is going to be sitting on the jack stand if you're working on the front. And also, one thing to know for you guys, I'm only working with one pair of a jack stand. So my job or my work every time I jack up the car is pretty much tedious and I have to move the jack stand around. So I'm gonna show you what I do next if I have to work on one side each, or if I'm just working on the driver's side or the passenger side. So it's pretty much the same process. What I do is to jack up the car in the front, and just like what I showed you earlier, I put the jack stand on the driver's side, or it could be the passenger side. And once that is done, I move to the back, and which I'm gonna show you next. So right now what I'm doing here, I'm releasing the jack, leaving the jack stand on the driver's side, since I'm just gonna show you how I do it every time I work on each side. And at the same time, I'll be showing you where the jack point is in the back. So while releasing the jack, you want to do it slowly. You don't want to like twist the knob and you're eventually going to drop the car. So what you want to do is like assist on it, and while turning it clockwise and slowly. And make sure while you're doing it, while the car is going low, make sure you put the jack stand where it's supposed to be, where the jack point is, because if not, you're going to end up damaging your car. There you go. And now we're gonna move to the back. Okay, so now that's what the car looks like. And it's lifted on the front, which is just the driver's side, nothing else. My other jack is right over here. My jack stand, I mean. So, let me just show it to you. As you can see, if you have a front side skirt, side skirt, even with the front, it's gonna be the same since it's gonna be in the way. The OEM one, the original side skirt, is going inwards. However, with Yofer, it goes outwards. So what you're gonna do is we're going to jack the car in the back, and this right over here, right in the center, is your jack point. So we're just gonna jack the car up using this jack point over here. And once it's up, since the driver's side is lifted or sitting on the jack stand, once you jack the car up right over here, the jack point is gonna be on that side. And eventually the car is gonna be lifted all the way to the back. So I'm just gonna do that and show it to you. Alright guys, so after jacking up the car, what I did, right over here, this is the jack point in the rear, right over here. That's the jack point, and you just put your jack stand right over here. So what I did, since I had the Yofer side skirt, like what I showed you in front, I put the jack stand right through here, and I just look my way around to go around all of this undercarriage until I reach the jack point. So once you reach that, you're just gonna release your jack, and both of the cars, once you release that, that's what the car is gonna look like, and it's just pretty much lifted on the driver's side. Now it's gonna be the same thing on the passenger side as well, but if you have 2 sets of jack stands, so you're gonna jack up in the front where I showed you the jack point earlier, place your jack stands, and at the same time, what I just showed you earlier where the jack point is in the back, you just jack that up as well, and you just put your jack stand, and the whole car is pretty much lifted off the ground. So, however, in my case, I only have 1 set of jack stands, so I usually work around this, and that's what I do. Also, another reminder, if you're gonna start jacking up your car in the front, which I highly suggest you do, make sure to have your e-brake on so your car doesn't roll on you while you're jacking up the car or anything. So once you're done with your work and you're done with the jack stand, if you're asking how you're gonna take the jack stand off, I usually start in the back. So you just jack that up and high enough for the car to be out or on top of the jack stand, enough space for you to remove the jack stand in the back, and slowly do that, take that off. And also, as a reminder, I just want to let you guys know, if you guys are not sure or haven't used any jack or jack stand, I advise to get some help, or at the same time go to a shop. I'm not saying I'm professional about doing this. I learned all of this with all my experience. I've made some mistakes, and right now I'm just showing to you like how I do it and how to jack your car and point out where the jack stand is. And at the same time, while using all of these tools, I highly suggest, please be safe. And this video is just for entertainment purposes, and I want each and everyone to be safe, and I don't want anything to happen to you. So yes, get some help if you need, and at the same time, if you haven't used it, ask for help or ask someone that's really familiar with what they're doing, because by the end of the day, I want every one of you to be safe. And yeah, so I hope you find this video very helpful. If you have any comments, suggestions, drop them by the comment section below. Also, smash that like button below. And at the same time, don't forget to subscribe to your boy and help me reach 400 subscribers. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.